Welcome back to RF Coins, could be hiding right inside your pocket change. Today we're diving deep into one of the most collected and talked about coins in American history, the 1964 Liberty Lincoln penny. This little copper coin, struck more than half a century ago, might just be worth a lot more than its face value if you know what to look for. So get ready, because we're going to uncover the full history, the key minting details, the rare errors, and the unbelievable current market values that make the 1964 Lincoln penny a treasure for collectors everywhere. The 1964 Lincoln penny holds a special place in U.S. coinage history. It was struck during a time of major change in America, a year filled with economic growth, social shifts, and an expanding interest in coin collecting. President Abraham Lincoln, whose portrait has been on the penny since 1909, continued to symbolize honesty, unity, and American spirit, and the 1964 penny carried that legacy forward. These coins were produced by the billions, but as you'll discover, not all 1964 pennies are created equal. Some of them, because of unique errors, variations, and pristine condition, are worth a surprising amount of money in today's market. Let's start with the basics. The 1964 Lincoln penny was minted at two locations, the Philadelphia Mint, which had no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which used the small d mint mark just below the date on the obverse side. The obverse shows the classic profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty to the left and the date 1964 to the right. Above his head reads "In God We Trust," a phrase that reminds us of the nation's enduring faith. On the reverse side, the coin features the words United States of America along the top, 1 cent in bold lettering at the center, and E pluribus unum, Latin for, out of many, one, above the Lincoln Memorial design. Every detail of this coin represents a piece of American history and pride. The 1964 penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. This composition gives it that beautiful reddish-brown tone collectors love. Copper coins from this era tend to tone and change color over time, which can make certain pennies even more visually striking, from brilliant red to deep chocolate brown. Collectors categorize these color variations as red, RD, red-brown, RB, or brown, BN, and believe it or not, the color can make a massive difference in the coin's value. A 1964 Lincoln penny with full red luster and no marks, for example, could sell for many times its regular price, but what truly makes this coin stand out is its connection to the transition period of U.S. coinage. Just 1 year later, in 1965, the U.S. Mint removed silver from dimes and quarters and began experimenting with new compositions. The 1964 penny became one of the last copper-based cents before cost and metal scarcity began to shape the future of American coins. Because of that, the 1964 penny represents the end of a golden era in U.S. coin production, a piece of nostalgia and history combined. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the potential value. Most circulated 1964 pennies are still only worth about 1 cent, maybe a few cents more for lightly worn examples. However, when you find a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition, that's where things start to change. A 1964 Lincoln penny graded MS-65 by PCGS or NGC can sell for around $15 to $25. But if you find one with full red luster, sharp strike, and flawless surfaces, you're talking about hundreds of dollars. The top-grade specimens, MS-67 red, have sold for incredible prices, sometimes between $700 and $1,000. The record auction price for a pristine 1964 Lincoln penny reached close to $9,000, proving that condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting, and that's not all. Error coins from 1964 can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the mistake. Look for double die obverse, where the lettering or date appears slightly doubled under magnification. There are also examples of repunched mint marks, RPM, where the Denver D was stamped more than once. Other rare varieties include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks that give each coin a one-of-a-kind appearance. These mint errors are incredibly collectible, and the more dramatic the error, the higher the value. Some double die or off-center 1964 pennies have fetched over $1,000 at auction, all because of those tiny but fascinating minting mistakes. It's also important to pay attention to the shine and surface of your coin. If your 1964 penny has a bright, original red color and no scratches or wear, it might be a gem. Even a small upgrade in grade, from MS64 to MS65, can make a big difference in price. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC use strict standards to determine condition, and the top populations are always in high demand. Collectors love finding coins that look fresh from the mint, even after 60 years. Now, you might be wondering, why are 1964 pennies still so popular when so many were made? The answer lies in nostalgia, history, and the thrill of the hunt. Many coin enthusiasts today started their collections with Lincoln cents, searching through jars, drawers, or family coin albums for that one rare find. The 1964 penny connects generations. It's a coin that our parents and grandparents used, yet it remains an exciting discovery today. Its design, its symbolism, and its place in mid-century American life make it a true classic. The current market for 1964 Lincoln pennies remains strong. Collectors continue to pay top dollar for high-grade examples, rare errors, and unique toning patterns. While an average circulated 1964 penny might still trade for just a few cents, rare varieties can reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on demand. At present, certain auction sales have shown brilliant red examples approaching $900, while rare errors and perfect gem grades have gone beyond that, close to the $898.959 range for some of the most stunning coins ever graded. Yes, that's right, nearly $900 for a single penny that originally cost just 1 cent. It's an incredible example of how condition, rarity, and collector passion can transform something ordinary into something extraordinary. So the next time you're sorting through your change or looking through your coin collection, take a closer look at your 1964 Lincoln pennies. Examine the date carefully, check for that D mint mark, and use a magnifier to spot any doubling or odd details. You might be holding a piece of U.S. minting history worth far more than you imagine. Whether you're a new collector or an experienced numismatist, the 1964 penny offers endless excitement and potential discovery. At RF Coins, we encourage you to keep learning, keep collecting, and keep searching, because every coin tells a story, and sometimes, those stories are worth a fortune. The 1964 Liberty Lincoln penny is not just a coin, it's a window into America's past, a symbol of craftsmanship, and for some lucky collectors, a path to unexpected wealth. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story about rare and valuable US coins. We'll keep bringing you the best insights, market updates, and collector secrets that could help you discover the next big treasure hiding in your pocket. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy collecting, from your friends here at RF Coins. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins of the Lincoln series, the Liberty 1977 Lincoln penny. This is not just a simple 1-cent coin, my friends. The 1977 Lincoln penny has a story of history, art, and surprising value that might just make you check your coin jars right after this video. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the secrets of this little copper coin that could be worth a fortune today. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose small initials, VDB, can still be found on some issues of the coin. The Lincoln cent became an American icon, symbolizing not just the country's history but also the resilience and progress of the nation itself. By the time the 1970s rolled around, the Lincoln cent had already gone through several small design and composition changes, and 1977 was an interesting year for collectors. In 1977, the Lincoln penny was still being struck primarily in copper. Each coin contained 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it that deep reddish-brown shine that collectors love. The weight of the coin was 3.11 grams, and it measured 19 millimeters in diameter. These pennies were minted at 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins had no mint mark, while Denver coins carried a small d below the date, and the San Francisco coins carried the S mint mark, mostly used for proof coins. Now let's talk about design. On the obverse side, we have the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right, the word liberty to his left, the motto "In God We Trust" above, and the date 1977 to the right. The reverse side displays the magnificent Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. If you look closely, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, one of the finest details ever struck on a circulating U.S. coin. But what makes the 1977 penny so special? Well, even though it was produced in large quantities, more than 4.4 billion in Philadelphia, 4.1 billion in Denver, and over 3 million proofs from San Francisco, certain coins from this year have become incredibly valuable due to condition, rarity, and errors. That's right, error coins from 1977 can fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars in today's coin market. Let's explore the values and current market prices. A regular 1977 Lincoln penny from circulation is usually worth just 1 cent to a few cents if it's worn. But when you find one in pristine uncirculated condition, that bright, lustrous red copper shine, the price can jump significantly. High-grade mint state coins graded MS65 or MS66 by PCGS or NGC can sell anywhere from $25 to $150 depending on eye appeal and luster. Now, if you have a 1977 D penny from the Denver Mint in gem red condition, it could be worth even more. Some auction results show prices soaring over $400 for perfectly struck coins with full details and zero spots. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, those with the mirror-like surfaces, are another story. A 1977 S-proof penny graded PR70 Deep Cameo, which is nearly flawless, has been known to sell for over $1,000 in top auctions, but here's where things get even more exciting: the errors and varieties. The 1977 penny has several known mint errors that can transform an ordinary coin into a small fortune. Some of the most valuable include off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, die cracks, and even missing letters or numbers in the date. One famous error features a strong double die on the obverse, giving Lincoln's profile a ghost-like appearance. These coins are incredibly rare and can bring in anywhere from $500 to over $2,000 depending on grade and visibility of the error. Another fascinating discovery is the 1977 Lincoln penny struck on a silver planchet, an extremely rare minting mistake. These coins were accidentally struck on dime blanks or foreign planchets, giving them a silvery appearance and lighter weight. Such coins have sold for as much as $5,000 to $10,000 at major auctions. So, always check your pennies. That odd-looking one could be a hidden treasure. Now let's move to the current market overview. The modern coin market in 2025 has seen a growing demand for early copper cents, especially those in high mint state grades. Collectors are now paying record prices for coins that were once overlooked. A perfect 1977 penny graded MS67 red can fetch up to $898.958, yes, nearly $900, while rare error examples can exceed several $1,000s. This surge is due to increased interest in Lincoln cent collections and the limited availability of flawless copper coins from the 1970s. Many have toned, spotted, or lost their red color over time, making high-grade survivors extremely desirable. So if you come across a 1977 penny in a coin roll or pocket change, don't dismiss it. Take a good look under bright light. Check for the mint mark, inspect for doubling, and if it looks unusually sharp, keep it safe. You might be holding a coin that collectors dream of owning. Let's not forget the story behind these coins. They were made in a time of change in America. The 1970s saw economic challenges, inflation, and shifts in production costs. The copper in a single penny was getting more expensive, and by 1982, the U.S. Mint decided to switch from solid copper to copper-plated zinc. This means the 1977 penny is one of the last few years made of real copper, a genuine piece of U.S. history in your hand. Collectors love the 1977 Lincoln penny for its rich color, historic design, and connection to an era before change swept through American coinage. Every scratch and shine tells a story. From circulation to auction rooms, this coin continues to surprise collectors with its enduring charm and unexpected value. Before we wrap up, here's a collector's tip from RF Coins. Always store your Lincoln pennies in protective holders, especially those from the 1970s. Avoid touching them directly, as the oils from your fingers can cause spots or discoloration. If you suspect you have a rare error, get it certified by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin not only verifies its authenticity but can multiply its market value dramatically. So there you have it, the Liberty 1977 Lincoln penny, a tiny copper masterpiece with big potential. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector checking your change, keep an eye out for this year's coin. You might just find one that's worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. Thank you for watching RF Coins, your trusted source for coin history, value, and collecting secrets. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1977 Lincoln penny, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next coin treasure reveal. Every coin has a story, and here at RF Coins, we make sure it's told. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and always remember, the smallest coin can hold the biggest story. This is RF Coins, signing off. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in American history, the 1982 Lincoln penny. This small 1-cent coin might look ordinary, but some 1982 Lincoln pennies are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars today, depending on their metal composition, mint mark, and condition. So stay tuned until the end, because you might just learn that the penny in your collection or even your piggy bank could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Let's begin with the incredible story of the 1982 penny. This was a major year of change for the U.S. Mint and for the iconic Lincoln cent. For over 120 years, pennies had been made mostly of copper. But by 1982, copper prices had skyrocketed. The cost of the metal inside each coin was approaching the coin's face value, and that made it unprofitable for the U.S. government to keep making pure copper cents. So, the Mint made a dramatic decision. They changed the metal composition of the penny for the first time in decades. Before 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But starting in 1982, the Mint switched to a new composition, a core of 99.2% zinc, coated with just a thin layer of copper. These new zinc pennies were much lighter, weighing only 2.5 grams compared to the older copper coins that weighed 3.11 grams. This change seems small, but it created a fascinating mix of coins in 1982, some made of copper and some made of zinc, and collectors love these transition years because they often lead to rare varieties and errors. Now here's where things get interesting. In 1982, the U.S. Mint actually produced 7 different varieties of the Lincoln penny. That's right, 7. And there's even an 8th variety that was discovered later, making the 1982 penny one of the most complex and collectible issues in modern U.S. coin history. The 7 main types are 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 D large date zinc, 1982 D small date zinc, and then there's the rare one, the 1982 D small date copper, which shouldn't exist. This coin has become one of the most famous modern rarities of all time. So how can you tell them apart? The easiest way is by weight and by the shape of the numbers in the date. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while the zinc ones weigh just 2.5 grams. If you have a precise digital scale, you can easily check which one you've got. But even without a scale, you can spot differences between the large and small dates. On the small date version, the numbers in 1982 appear thinner and the 8 looks more even on top and bottom. On the large date version, the 2 sits higher and the 8 is more uneven, with the top circle smaller than the bottom. These subtle differences make all the difference in value. Now let's talk about value, because this is where things get really exciting. Most 1982 pennies are worth just face value in circulated condition. But the rare varieties and high-grade examples can bring in serious money. For example, the regular copper or zinc 1982 pennies in mint state can sell for a few dollars, depending on the variety and condition. But the rare 1982 small date copper penny is a completely different story. Only a few genuine examples are known to exist. One of them sold for an astonishing $18,800 at auction, and experts believe there may still be more out there waiting to be discovered. Now imagine this, a coin worth less than a penny to make, selling for almost $20,000. That's what makes the world of coin collecting so fascinating. It's not just about the age of a coin, it's about rarity, condition, and those unexpected varieties that slip through the cracks of the minting process. Let's break down the current market values for 1982 Lincoln pennies, as of today's coin market in 2025. Copper large date and small date varieties in uncirculated condition typically range between $1 and $10, depending on grade. The zinc varieties usually bring slightly less, often between 50 cents and $5 in high grade. But the stars of the show, the small date copper coins, especially from the Denver Mint, can reach into the hundreds or thousands of dollars if verified authentic and graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. High-grade examples certified as MS67 or higher are especially valuable. Some have sold for more than $1,500 to $3,000 in top condition. Proof versions made in San Francisco can also fetch premium prices, especially if they have cameo or deep cameo contrast. Errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, and transitional planchet errors, can also push values even higher. For instance, an off-metal 1982 penny struck on a copper planchet intended for earlier years can sell for several $1,000s today. Now, let's talk about the fascinating transition and confusion that year created. In 1982, the Mint didn't stop producing the copper cents all at once. The change happened gradually. This meant that both types, copper and zinc, were being minted simultaneously at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Collectors were left to sort through their pocket change, wondering which metal they had. Even today, this mix makes 1982 pennies one of the most fun coins to hunt for. You can still find copper 1982 pennies in circulation if you look carefully. Here's an amazing tip for all you coin hunters out there. Grab a small digital scale, start weighing your 1982 pennies, and keep an eye out for anything that weighs around 3.1 grams. That's a copper planchet. If it has a D mint mark and a small date, you might just have one of the rarest modern Lincoln cents ever struck, and that could mean thousands of dollars in your hand. Now let's look at how the design plays into all this. The 1982 Lincoln penny still featured the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, which first appeared in 1909. On the reverse, we still see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, a design that was used from 1959 to 2008. These designs have become some of the most recognized and beloved in U.S. coinage history. But the 1982 version carries the story of change, from tradition to modernity, symbolizing the shift from the old copper era to the new zinc generation. Collectors also love the 1982 pennies because they represent a major milestone in the evolution of U.S. coin production. It was the year when technology, economics, and tradition collided. And from that collision came one of the most fascinating and collectible modern pennies ever made. Now, let's take a look at the coin's current market performance. As of 2025, the market value for premium uncirculated 1982 Lincoln cents continues to rise. A clean, bright red example with full luster and sharp details can sell for anywhere from $25 to $150, depending on the variety and grade. But the rare transitional errors and verified small-date copper coins are where the big money is, and they can command prices over $10,000 or even higher, depending on condition and demand. If you're a collector or just starting out, this is one of the best coins to study and search for. You can still find 1982 pennies in circulation, in rolls, or in old jars. That means there's still a real chance you could stumble upon a valuable treasure without spending a dime more than 1 cent. And that's exactly why collectors love this hobby. It's history, art, and mystery all in one small coin. Before we wrap up, here's an important note for everyone who wants to check their 1982 pennies. always handle your coins carefully. Don't clean them or rub them with cloths or chemicals that can drastically reduce their value. If you think you found a rare one, use cotton gloves or hold it by the edges, and consider sending it to a professional grading service. Authenticity and condition make all the difference between a penny worth a cent and a penny worth a fortune. So, what does the 1982 Lincoln penny teach us? It reminds us that change, even in something as small as a coin, can create lasting history and incredible value. It shows that in every pocket, in every coin roll, there's a chance to find a piece of the past, and maybe even a small fortune. Thanks for watching RF Coins, where every coin tells a story, and every story could lead you to a treasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and tap the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates on rare US coins and hidden coin treasures. Drop a comment below and tell us if you've ever found a 1982 penny that looked a little different. We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and always remember, the next valuable coin might be right in your pocket. This is RF Coins, signing off. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about and often overlooked pieces of American history, the 1988 Lincoln penny, also known as the Liberty 1988 penny. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary cent you'd find in your change, but what if I told you that this small copper coin could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on its condition, mint mark, and those rare minting errors that collectors dream about? Yes, you heard that right. Some 1988 Lincoln pennies are worth a lot of money in today's market, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. Let's begin with a bit of history. The 1988 Lincoln penny carries on the proud legacy of the Lincoln cent that first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin became one of the most iconic and longest-running designs in U.S. history. By 1988, the Lincoln cent had already seen several changes. The original wheat reverse design was replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial design, celebrating the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. So when you hold a 1988 penny, you're not just holding a piece of copper-coated zinc, you're holding more than 75 years of continuous American history in your hand. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1988 penny so interesting and valuable today. In 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the Lincoln cent from solid copper to a copper-plated zinc core, meaning that 1988 pennies are made up of about 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. The coin weighs about 2.5 grams, and it features the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, the word Liberty to the left, the year 1988 to the right, and the motto "In God We Trust" proudly displayed above Lincoln's head. On the reverse, we see the majestic Lincoln Memorial with the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent. 3 U.S. mints produced the 1988 Lincoln penny, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins have no mint mark, the Denver mint coins show a small d beneath the date, and the San Francisco coins, produced mainly for proof sets, carry the S mint mark. The majority of 1988 pennies were struck in huge numbers, over 5.2 billion from Philadelphia, more than 5.2 billion from Denver, and about 3.2 million proof coins from San Francisco. With numbers that high, you might be wondering how any of them could be worth more than a cent. Well, that's where condition, rarity, and minting errors come into play. Let's first look at the regular business strikes. A typical circulated 1988 penny is usually worth just its face value of 1 cent. However, if you happen to have a coin that has been preserved in pristine condition, we're talking mint state grades like MS65, MS66, or higher, that's where the value starts climbing. In the current coin market, a 1988 Lincoln penny graded MS67 by PCGS or NGC can sell for $200 to $400 or more. Coins in MS68, which are extremely rare, have been known to sell for over $1,000 at auction. And if you happen to have a proof coin from San Francisco in perfect PR70 deep cameo condition, that can also bring in hundreds of dollars, but the real excitement comes with the famous error varieties, especially the 1988 penny with the wrong design on the obverse, the so-called 1988 double die and the 1988 transitional error. These are among the most sought-after varieties for this date. The most famous is the 1988 D penny with a reverse design from 1989, known as the 1988 D reverse of 1989 variety. This rare transitional error happened when the mint accidentally used a 1989 reverse die to strike some 1988 D pennies. To spot this variety, look closely at the letters in the word America on the reverse. On the 1988 D reverse of 1989 variety, the letters have sharper details and the designer initials FG are further away from the Lincoln Memorial than on the normal coin. If you find one of these, congratulations, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. High-grade examples of this variety have sold for $3,000 to $5,000 or more depending on condition. There's also a version known as the 1988 double die obverse, where the lettering or Lincoln's profile appears slightly doubled under magnification. These can also fetch big money, especially in high grades. Other valuable errors include off-center strikes, broad strikes, and die cracks. Collectors love these unique minting mistakes because they make the coin truly one of a kind. Even an off-center error that shows 10% to 15% of the design missing can sell for $50 to $200 depending on the overall look of the coin. Now let's talk about the market trends for the 1988 Lincoln penny. Over the past few years, the value of rare U.S. coins, especially error varieties and high-grade modern cents, has been steadily rising. Collectors are increasingly turning their attention to the more modern Lincoln pennies because they're affordable to start with but can yield incredible returns if the right coin is found. Auction houses and online marketplaces like eBay have seen strong demand for certified 1988 pennies, especially those graded MS67 or higher. A recent sale saw a 1988 D reverse of 1989 penny in MS67 red condition sell for nearly $4,000. That's right, 1 cent turned into $4,000. Even proof coins from San Francisco continue to perform well, with PR70 examples regularly bringing in $100 to $250. So yes, the market for these coins is very much alive and active. If we talk about the overall current market value and collector demand, the average 1988 penny may only be worth 1 cent in circulation, but in the collector's world, its potential value can range anywhere from a few dollars to nearly $900, even touching the remarkable figure of $898.956 for certain unique and flawless examples that have surfaced in private sales or high-end auctions. That's what makes coin collecting so fascinating, the idea that something so small and ordinary can be hiding extraordinary value if you know what to look for. So, how can you check if your 1988 penny is special? First, inspect the coin under good lighting and magnification. Check for the mint mark. If it has a D, you might want to carefully compare the reverse details with images of the 1989 design to see if it could be that rare transitional error. Look for doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." And of course, examine the coin's condition. The fewer scratches and marks it has, the higher the grade and the greater its value potential. If you think you found something special, it's a great idea to have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin not only confirms authenticity but also dramatically increases its resale value in the collector market. One of the most fascinating things about coins like the 1988 Lincoln penny is how they bridge the gap between history and modern collecting. Every coin tells a story, from the design changes that reflect the era's values to the tiny minting errors that make collectors' hearts race. And that's exactly why the Lincoln penny series remains one of the most beloved among coin enthusiasts. It's affordable, it's historical, and sometimes it's surprisingly profitable. So the next time you're sorting through your spare change or going through that old coin jar sitting on your shelf, keep an eye out for 1988 pennies. You never know, that little copper coin could turn out to be a small fortune waiting to be discovered. Remember, rarity hides in plain sight, and those who look closely are often rewarded. If you enjoyed learning about the 1988 Lincoln penny and its potential value, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another exciting coin story. We share the hidden gems of US coins, from rare pennies to valuable nickels, dimes, and quarters, helping collectors like you stay informed about the latest discoveries and market updates. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or if you'd like me to cover another year next time. Thanks for watching RF Coins, where every coin has a story, and some are worth a lot more than you think.